actual crime scene. All right.
Okay. I didn't do that.
Oh. Come now, Uji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gan. What do you want me to make? What now? You want...
Now you want me to.
What? Now you want me to make out as the bad guy too? Make me out as the bad guy too, don't make out. If so, I'd like to be put in a word or two in my defense.
You already execute your right to not testify.
I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined testimony. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
This must be the risk the judge was talking about.
Just sit back and relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Gah! Wait, no, baby. So what? You think I'm so worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone then. What's your excuse? So then, what's your excuse, righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is that true, Mr. Wright?
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, please present it now. And if you are trying to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Officer Marshall?
All right, go ahead and save. Go ahead and save. Just as a... Okay, good. You can save. All right, go ahead and save.
She pushed him with her right hand. Okay, so that's her right hand print. Yep, that's her right hand print. And it's on his left vest. What? Something's wrong here. I missed it, didn't I? If this is the angle she saw it, I'm assuming this is also the angle of how she pushed. So the one she pushed with her right hand, because she knocked over both of them. The one she would push with her right hand would be the one kneeling on the floor.
Well, no, she tried to stop the guy with the knife.
That is true, but that's still on the front of his vest. The front of his vest, which she couldn't have pushed with the guy on the knife, because the guy with the knife has his back turned. But it still appeared on the front of his vest, on the left side. I mean, if I were to push at this angle, I would have been able to push him on his back. But another thing was that Dart was knocked down, so I'm assuming that she did knock Marshall to the suit of armor. she would have also knocked down Dark, and the hand she would have knocked Dark down with would be her right and not her left. Because if she's running that way, her right would be the one on the right, the one kneeling down, and her left would be the one stabbing with the knife, which is the one with the knife. Just saying. It's this evidence. Okay. Should we show it? That's the problem.
Would it help our case?
What we're trying to
Because
prove...
if we present because that's what we're talking about is the leather, obviously. So if we present that, we're portraying Emma as the killer.
Yeah, but it wouldn't really help us. Because right now we're saying that perhaps Emma is not the real killer. Someone who came across the scene before Lana was, aka Gant, because the jar was already broken. And Gant had a piece of it that Lana didn't know about. And hey, let me go look at the book. Okay, no evidence should be shown without the approval of the police department, which is what this is. Registered evidence must be relevant to the case and trial, which is it is not, because the trial is not about SL9, but we're going back to SL now, so now it kind of is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But this wouldn't really help our case.
If we present it,
it's not good. But if we don't present it, we're penalized, and we'll be going across the board of inquiry.
Right, but
must be relevant to the case in trial. This is a conundrum.
Yeah.
Because now that we're going back to a different case, which is now part of the case in trial, so that kind of makes it relevant to the case in trial.
Right.
But at the same time, you can argue that it's not, because it's not this case. But it kind of is. Because we're tying this case to this trial. It's hard.
Right. We got one of two choices.
The left vest is the one that he got pushed to the front by Emma, which makes no sense if you go by the picture she drew, because what she saw was the backside of the one stabbing. If Marshall was the one stabbing, then she would have really pushed him on his back instead of his front side, because that's like his front. His front. There's no way, like, Emma wouldn't be able to go to his front and push him like that. Just saying. Because he has that knife raised up, if that really is Marshall. Oh, this... It doesn't help our case.
There is something to notice about that picture, but that comes up later. And only if you choose the right option.
Yeah.
I guess I can say this now. You press the wrong, you choose the wrong option, it's an automatic game over.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yes.
Okay, so now I really have to think about this. If you wanted me to make a quick choice, well,
I just
too late.
you. Yeah.
And you're thinking a bit too complex for right now. You're on the right path, but for later on, I'll give you that.
No, what I'm trying to do is, like, if we do show the evidence, because we're gonna be penalized if we withhold this evidence, right?
We're going towards the Board of Inquiries.
Yeah, we'll be going to the Board of Inquiries, and that's a game over, I think. I'm not sure. But I think if we show the evidence, it will portray her as the murderer. Right now, I'm trying to see if we do that, is there a way to disprove her as murderer? And that's what I'm thinking before I make my decision. Because apparently this decision is a really big one.
So you're trying to work the game, but also say, hey, wait, no. She's not. Yes, there is evidence, but no, it's not. She's not the murderer, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out before I make my decision.
do we have evidence to show?
We do, the strip of cloth. But is it... The strip of cloth hasn't been brought up. And even Emma herself said that whoever would be, like, can be tied to the case. Whoever's handprint was on it. Which we really should have told her. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. But Phoenix is like, nah, let's not.
Alright. Which you can choose. Do we have evidence to show?
We do have evidence to
But-
show, but what would come into, like,
Okay.
what?
Are
It
we-
sounds like it's decisive evidence, that's the problem. Decisive evidence that would get Emma thrown in jail, question mark? Or would it, didn't Edward say that it would have been out of self-defense so she wouldn't have been charged? But now I guess, like, this all comes to light, now everything's complicated.
Mhm.
Because if anything, Emma, if they did arrange to cut the scene, Emma would have gone in self-defense.
The question is, are we gonna show our evidence?
The problem with that is, like, still, if we go against the board of inquiry, that's bad. But if we show the evidence, it's also bad. So which one is the lesser of the two evil? Which one will actually be the game over? And we've been up against decisive evidence before, right? I believe we did. So by making it decisive, so if we can contradict our evidence, then we might be able to show that Emma is not the murderer. Oh, no, wait. Didn't we already, like, kind of conclude that she was the one who killed Marshall? Or, because our claim right now is that the one who killed Marshall wasn't really Emma. It could have been someone else. Someone who came upon the crime before Lana.
And if we show the claw,
That would disprove our case. But if we don't show the claw, we might get to the board inquiry.
right?
But this is not, because our case is that someone else, Gant, showed up before Lana, and then they already messed with the scene of the crime as is to make it look like Emma did it, and then Lana would have taken action.
To make it look
make it
like
like-
it wasn't Emma.
Yeah.
Right. So,
So it's like someone tempered this crime scene, and then tempered the crime scene again. So
which one are we gonna choose?
do I want to? Cannot show evidence.
So like you said, give up on Emma, throw Emma under the bus, or inquiries.
What's the board inquiry again?
What Edgeworth went up against.
Okay.
He got reprimanded the first time.
And now he's like in serious doo-doo.
Yeah.
After this case. Edward, I'm with you there, pal.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want to show the evidence because it's not helping our case.
Mhm.
And her handprint may be on there, but she has testified saying she pushed them.
Right.
So
Sure.
it makes sense that her handprint would be on the vest because she pushed them.
Mhm.
She pushed them. So her handprint would be on both of them actually. Would have been on both of them. Because she rushed the one with a knife. But would that really mean that she knocked Marshall over to the armor with the sword? Spear, whatever, knife, what? If
Something.
it changed from sword to spear, it was like, I thought it was spear, and then it didn't change to knife, and then it changed to sword, and then...
You know, it's been a good run. I haven't gotten a game over yet. If this is my first game over, then so be it. Cannot show evidence. Edward, buddy, we're in this thing together. You in big doo-doo, I'm in big doo-doo. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
What? You lie! Chief Gant. You opened my safe. You know what you took was... I know what you took, what was inside. The conclusive evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. And that's why you won't present it. What are you talking about? Chief Grant! Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like a part of... it has, for some reason, has been cut off. Mix around the words, that's okay. You mean this... You had this in your safe?
Forging evidence!
Hoarding evidence!
Hoarding evidence.
What? That means you, the chief of police, concealing evidence.
Oh.
This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Raito. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as a murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit it?
To it.
Yeah, you admit to it?
Wait, can he testify now?
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. Then it occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her.
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid.
Wait, so you manipulated the scene so it make it look like Emma killed Marshall.
So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When we rearranged the scene of crime, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene.
2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe?
But why? For insurance. Of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? Who do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make a police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Oh!
Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth?
What?
Come now, Raito, cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you are hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe.
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do with that, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have anything to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Raito. You should have shown them before it was too late.
It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Well, now we have to show the evidence. Because they already brought it up. So, yeah. Now it is. But now we've shown that he forged he concealed evidence and might have forged it. Who's to say he didn't take Emma's print and put it on there himself? Because she did go unconscious. That is correct. Because like I said, if she really pushed the one with the knife, 1, how would Dark have fallen unconscious? 2, she would have pushed the back and not the front. It would make no sense for her to push the front because the back was the one facing toward her. If anything, the side, but not directly on like the vest, the front of the vest, not the front of the vest. Oops. Show evidence.
So yes, you successfully passed the automatic game over.
Oh, Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Alright, then let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
The strip of cloth. Because that's the only thing they don't know about. And also, Edward said it.
Right.
I also like how they will mark you penalized if you try something else when it's obviously the strip of cloth.
Right.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut off this piece of the victim's vest?
Oh, yes. At last, you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that it immediately be sent to the lab for analysis. There's handprint on the leather. There must have been some strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean... It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
I mean, it's not that hard to push someone's hand into... someone unconscious hand onto a cloth. Just saying. It's not that hard. They're unconscious and you have the strength, you can push it quite hard.
You're slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Raito had all his time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Edward, did you forget you gave me that fingerprinting kit? But Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person whose fingerprints belong to, these fingerprints belong to are... Okay, we can't lie about this.
Emma. Emma Sky?
What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Like, seriously,
Yeah.
why didn't you tell her?
You're really something, Raito. You knew this girl did it all along. And you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky.
You knew who fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said the trial isn't over yet.
Ha! I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. You purposefully concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
Oh? And what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
What?
Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Emma Sky, wasn't it?
I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Is it the... Okay.
Thank you, game.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, I'm good. I still think it's kind of this. but I want to go through everything.
Go through everything.
Okay.
Hi, game.
I don't think this picture proves anything.
Hi, game. Good and safe.
No.
No save?
No save.
Okay.
I'm in the present thing.
Yeah, you're in the percent thing. I go ahead and you missed a... There you go, you... Well. Well, good job, game.
Found. Save a stab.
There is one evidence that, if you look closely, contradicts the piece of cloth.
Okay. Found something in... But what? For something. What? Bear, Emma, Sky's prints. Missing tip. Stab in the back. Die from puncture heart and lung. Can't be the picture.
It's not that picture.
I'm like, it can't be the picture. For like serious.
There's more. Just keep going. Keep going.
This evidence is found against left hand. But what? Okay, that's not it either. Is it the photo? Oh, the picture. Not the photo. The photo doesn't help anyone.
Go over one more. Is it in the next one? Next one? Next one?
The front vest. Stab in the back. Is it because it was from the front vest and not the back? I swear, because if I had presented a picture and it was like, actually that's not it, but this one is because it was on the front.
It's not the back, no.
It's from the front. At least the one taken is from the front. And
Strip of leather was cut out from Neil Marshall's vest. And has Emma's handprint on it.
wouldn't it be covered in blood? That's the thing, isn't it? Because the blood print goes clearly on his shirt underneath the cut part. That means that it would be made after she pushed her. Or before the cut would have been made after he bled. Or before he bled, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Before he bled.
before he bled, yeah. And what exactly is this supposed to be?
This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where that piece of his vest was cut out?
Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though.
Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood that's only natural. His lung, no doubt, was punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth.
Oh, but that piece of cloth.
It's clean.
Wait, there's no blood on it. Ah!
Since Emma Sky's fingerprint are on this cloth, there's no doubt she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword.
No, this is nonsense.
Now then, Chief Gang, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out.
If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armored sword. On the armored sword, yeah.
Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. Then he broke the jar on purpose to leave behind a clue. and make Lana believe her sister did it.
Remember what you admitted over a moment ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Though, through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer.
No! No!
It's finished. Wait, so he killed the prosecutor for profit? Okay.
That was close, Raito. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegation. You mean you refute his... what do you mean by you refute his allegations? You see that piece of cloth? It's illegal evidence. Order! Order! What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Haji? Earlier, old Raito came concealed with a piece of cloth. So then, what was your excuse, Raito? Do you have, you do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in the time.
Well, that's true.
But he also said point in time.
The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, the piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair.
Oh. Did you actually think you could best me in court? He looks like the laughs on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
Mr. Wright, do you admit it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
No. I mean, if we did, that kind of like destroys the entire case.
Right, exactly.
I did not.
Yeah.
Certainly, I refuse to present evidence at one point.
So the evidence is illegal.
But no, it isn't, Mr. Gant.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't.
What do you mean, you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involving when presenting evidence.
No, Uji, don't listen to his lies. They're nothing but a coward. You can't let him. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present the evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now.
Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. That's the only thing. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. It's a picture book.
What's this?
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma's sky fingerprint were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was really a piece of cloth, nothing more.
What?
You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law.
Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant in the case in trial.
And Here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the clock and the SL9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Sorry, but can you recall, when was that picture presented?
That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant.
You yourself confessed to a certain truth.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest?
Oh, yes. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant, the killer was you.
No. I should try out to be the Joker.
You could.
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. I'm a little bit lightheaded now. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Poor Joy was a little bit scared.
And now she's looking at your keyboard.
Yeah. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman.
Detective Goodman.
Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find the truth. Please, you gotta help me. Yeah, it's okay. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. When I went with him to the evidence room, then all of a sudden, he had to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There's too many questions left unanswered. He told me to open up the evidence room and take it out. It's not too late. I'll hand this to Marshall. Well, to be honest, I was a little panicked too. I had a bad feeling about it, but never knew it would come to this. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. You would only increase the amount of blood, and you couldn't finish what you started. So, even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I was wiping it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my mistake.
Detective Gumshoe's
Bloody
handprint.
Yeah. I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car? I'm sorry, we couldn't think of any other way to move the body. We broke the trunk, and what's the big deal? You pulled down a lot more than us detectives.
Well, what does this have to do with anything? You're horrible. How could you get Miss Sky involved in all this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I feel bad for having to do it. I couldn't sit around and pick and choose what to take.
Well, you left the jar fragment in gloves.
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence does not hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy. What are you doing in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day, you'll understand. If you want to take them on alone, you'll figure out what's needed. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Oji. What? Looks like we have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damagant. I knew you as you used to be, long ago. You were once a fine investigator, an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Uchi. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now that you have Raito here, and Worthy, with these two around, you can't go wrong. You see, if I listen carefully, I can hear it right now. The sound of a new beginning.
There are two things I want you to understand. Yes. First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Demon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All I've done these past 2 years, from the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until the day.
So, it seems all the questions raised in the trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it up to the top. Make it to the top. I owe you my dates, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was nothing.
Liar! I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Stop it. I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty.
Oh my gosh, that took too long.
Like I said, long court case. That is all. Court is adjourned.
That took 3 hours.
3 hours. At long last, it's finally over. Emma! Why a long face? I'm sorry, your sister didn't get completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted of murder. She didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffer every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Thank you, Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
And then...
Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
Of course.
Here we go. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making the detective run around while on duty? And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happy people at funerals.
Okay.
Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Lana!
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you're only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm a fool. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma.
No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find the way back to our path. And once we found our path, we can move on from our past mistakes to get towards a brighter future. At least, that's what I felt looking at those two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe,
Me?
thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Where was he hiding?
At the door?
I just came to say, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right, well, I'll be going now.
You're so awkward.
You know, every Tuesday, you know, you've got to go at least make a phone call with Maya. You need to improve on this stuff, Edgeworth. Counting on you.
Oh yeah, Edgeworth. You need to go and make a phone call with Maya every Tuesday
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Every day off.
Yeah.
Cause she'll teach you the basic. She already taught you how to think.
Yes.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. He's still going up against the board, isn't he, though?
It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't change my own mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. If you want to take them on alone, you'll figure out what's needed.
except you don't have to do it alone. Apparently, if you're prosecutor and Phoenix is defense, you'll find a criminal together.
Yeah. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. It's scary, but I've been thinking the same thing for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue as a prosecutor.
Join my group. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Demon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma,
Trigger word.
were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. That may be right, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find out on our own.
That's the picture I drew.
Our counterattack began with this.
It really did.
Yeah. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Edgeworth.
It's time for me to go.
You can't deal with emotions. It's okay. Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends I need to wrap up. I need wrapping up. That need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Bye, Edgy. Edgeworth! What are you gonna do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. What happened in this trial can either make or break you as a prosecutor.
Or you go back to law school and become a defense attorney.
In the end, it's up to you.
You're only like 24.
I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. Bye, Edgy.
I better be getting back too. Okay, I'll come visit you. It seems we both have a lot to learn. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific Investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. study it well. Thanks, sis, I will.
And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal.
He said that out loud with Gumshoe just standing there.
Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But
I thought you said it was okay.
he said it was okay. He said that if you won't tell,
Right.
he wouldn't tell.
Yeah, well, maybe okay with me, but folks in the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her in here out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh?
Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Right here is the one who's been footing the bill. Huh? What do you think I can afford with my salary? You've got to be kidding me, pal. Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream. Since we're all here, why don't we scream all go together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Alright. One more time.
One last objection.
Alright, let's both do it, okay?
Wait, it's Y?
No, it's X. No, it's X. Y's microphone. Alright. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, am I supposed to
Yeah,
press Y? I'm very
Press
confused.
X! Press X! It's always been X! You're
Okay.
ruining the moment, Neko!
Okay.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Objection!
Okay.
Okay, that was so...
That was
okay.
confusing. I'll arrange for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. She's a coroner. I think Emma will be pleased. Oh my gosh! As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back into the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crime together with Emma.
I look forward to that.
Me too. So,
Alright, so
is this when
this is we're gonna do thoughts. We're gonna wait for Gumshoe. Yikes! I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief prosecutor's office. If we're penalized you anymore, it'd be worse off than we'd fire you. Yep, just goes to show. You can't shake me off that easily.
Where's the fire in here? Okay.
I missed a whole bunch. So, thoughts.
This was a good game. I really like it.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I was such a blast to go back and go through this game. That really started my love for the series. It was great to see you play through it and experience it for your first time as well.
Oh my gosh, Negans.
My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show him though. Someday I'm gonna make a detective. Yes, sir. And I can be just like Dick Gumshoe.
Of course.
Right. So I think it's worth saying, next game is not gonna be Ace Attorney. It's gonna be a different game. But I think we can probably count on playing the next game, Justice for All, in the upcoming future. Hi, Blue Badger.
You come to haunt me.
You're gonna see him in your nightmares.
I am.
If you haven't already, you will tonight.
Oh, bro.
And it broke.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoy playing this game and doing all the investigation and stuff. But oh my gosh, this last case was just tediously long.
It's a long case. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with little steak? Miss Star managed to sneak this one on me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You gave them Bambina a back her smile. You can make sure Billy and the gang get their water.
Oh my gosh, he's looking after the stupid plants.
Just like the plant he has in the office.
Oh my gosh.
Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put in a new meal in my lunch. I missed that. And the top layer tastes bitter like defeat, but the bottom is sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller. Missed that last bit. It's make sure not to eat it backwards. Yeah, that wouldn't be too good if you ate it backwards.
I like having our partner help us investigate. It's fun, even though they're like teenagers who like shouldn't be helping us, but
right.
whatever.
I'll never forget that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see what his name was again. Mr. Left?
Are you serious?
Anyway, he said he'd be doing some other for a while. Anyway, I gotta go to another trial to get to, so better go. Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go.
Oh, that's the first time we see like that seat without him.
He didn't hide. Didn't he hide?
I don't remember.
I think he probably hid.
It was fine having assistant.
Yeah, it's always like a
alone.
good thing to like have someone for the comedy to bounce off of and just to talk, to have someone there with you. It's a nice addition. Hi, Maya!
Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Oh gosh, I forgot it. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing Nick and his objections. Still, I can't go back into full-fledged spirit medium. Maya, afternoon training is about to begin. Coming.
Oh, I know who you're voicing in the next game.
I'll see you around, Nick.
A little sneak peek into the next game.
Oh, well, you have to tell me because I don't know who.
I'll let you know who it is.
So Phoenix went to visit her. That's nice. And then she talked about Phoenix in third person around him.
We're talking about it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Maya. I really like Maya.
Maya's the best. Mr. Edgeworth.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Edgeworth. I brought you your tea. What's going on here?
Good question. I think my phone. Well
then. No, I was like really glad that we could play this
someone
game.
from Seattle.
Hey!
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Okay. Let me guess. I have to go to the back in order to open.
Because that's the one thing that was probably local that couldn't be like changed because of
the way they read.
Yeah, the way they read. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. Super sweet.
Look at them. If only Gant wasn't an asshole.
Yeah. That's it. He finished with Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, in all the cases. All right, guys. Thanks for watching with us. Been a blast for us. Hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll be starting our next Let's Play pretty soon. But for now, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.